All right, let's dive into a really crucial step in manufacturing with SAP S4HANA. We're going to talk about what happens right after the production line stops. We'll break down the standard quality inspection process, and then look at a pretty clever alternative for when you're in a bit of a time crunch. So this is the big question, isn't it? The machines are quiet, you've got a pallet of finished goods, but the job's not really over until you can confidently say, yes, this stuff is good to go. How SAP helps you get to that yes is exactly what we're going to unpack today. Okay, so let's start with the basics, the out-of-the-box process. This is how SAP S4HANA, by default, is designed to handle your post-production quality checks. It's a really logical, automated flow that, works perfectly fine for a lot of companies. Think of this flow like a set of dominoes. It all kicks off with that first step. The finished goods are officially received from the production line. That one action, that goods receipt, automatically tells the system, hey, create an inspection lot. From there, the quality technician gets the notification to do their tests. And finally, a quality engineer makes what's called the usage decision, which is basically the final verdict, a thumbs up or thumbs down on the batch. And this is the key thing to remember about the standard process. Nothing, and I mean nothing, happens in quality inspection until that goods receipt is posted. It's the starting gun for the entire QM process. It's the official moment where production hands the baton over to quality control. Now this inspection lot, it's not just some random number, it's more like a data-packed digital folder. As you can see here, it pulls in all the critical info. It knows which production order it came from, the specific material document, the exact material and batch number for perfect traceability, and of course, how many units we actually need to check. And here's a super important safety feature. While all this inspection is going on, the system is smart. It doesn't just leave these goods sitting in general inventory. It puts them into a special category called inspection stock. This basically puts them in quarantine, so nobody can accidentally ship them to a customer or use them in another product before they get the official green light. That standard process sounds pretty solid, right? And for many cases, it is. But, in the real world of manufacturing, things can get a little tricky with timing, which leads us to a really common challenge. And here it is, the million-dollar question. What happens when your quality checks have to be done during the final stages of production, not completely after everything is said and done? If you're using the standard process, which is just sitting there waiting for the goods receipt, well, it's just not going to work. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you're making a smartwatch. You absolutely have to test all the electronics, the screen, the sensors, the battery, before you seal it up in its waterproof case. Because once that case is sealed, that's it. You can't get back in. So in this situation, waiting until the fully packaged watch is posted as a goods receipt is way, way too late. Thankfully, the folks who designed SAP knew this could be an issue. So they built in a fantastic solution for exactly this kind of timing problem. It's a feature that completely changes when the inspection starts, giving you a ton more flexibility. And here it is. It's called early lot creation. The name pretty much says it all, right? Instead of waiting for that goods receipt at the very end of the line, the system creates the inspection lot right at the beginning, the second that production order is released to the shop floor. This is a total game changer. Let's just look at this visually so it really sticks. Here's the standard flow we talked about. You have the production order, then things get made, you get a goods receipt, and then finally the inspection lot is created. It's a simple, straight line. But now, look at this. This is the early flow. The production order gets released, and boom, the inspection lot is created right then and there. Your quality team can literally start recording results while the product is still being assembled. The goods receipt still happens later, of course, but by then, your quality checks could already be done. Now, as with pretty much any choice you make in a system as big as SAP, this isn't a magic wand. Choosing to go with early inspection has its own set of trade-offs, and it's absolutely essential to understand what they are. This slide lays it out perfectly. On the one hand, the advantages are great. You get that lot as soon as the order is released, you can start inspecting super early, and you can even use an independent inspection plan. But, and you gotta pay attention to the buts, there are disadvantages. You are limited to only one inspection lot for the entire production order. And another little thing that can be kind of annoying, the inspection lot number doesn't show up directly in the production order screen, which can make traceability a little bit trickier. So we've seen the standard, default path, and we've seen the early, flexible alternative. How on earth do you decide which one is the right fit for your business? Let's tie it all together. And this is really the main takeaway for today. There is no single best option here. It's not about which one is better, it's about which one is right for you. The standard process is simple, it's robust. The early inspection process is powerful and flexible. If you're like our smartwatch example and you need to test something before it gets sealed up, early inspection is your only real choice. But if a simple check at the end of the line is all you need, the standard process works beautifully. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. Now that you're armed with this knowledge about how SAP handles timing, think about your own processes or a company you worked with. Which method would you pick? And more importantly, why? Because understanding that why is what separates someone who just knows the system from someone who can truly solve business problems.